Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports. And today we have the head coach and assistant coach of KCK Community College. And they've brought two of their players on board, Coach Brandon Burgette. I'm going to let him introduce his assistant coach and his two players. How you doing today, Brandon?
Good. How you doing? I know it's been a while since we got a chance to be back on here, but I appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
We formally just introduced our new assistant coach, Brandon Gossett. Brandon's been at a couple places, Division II and NAIA, also North Central Missouri College, which is right down the road. He also helps out with MoKen here in Kansas City. And then we have a guard from Chicago, Illinois, Tomas, and then we have Dane Foster, who's from Sedalia, Missouri.
All right. Hey, Coach, I'm gonna give you little presidents. Gossett, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Coach gave you, a once over. Where are you from? How long you been coaching?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Aurora, Illinois. Grew up there. I've been coaching for this is going to be my 6th year coaching. I started off at a junior college in Rockford, Illinois, Rock Valley College up there. Then I went to Peru State, which is not too far from Kansas City here, and did my graduate assistant work there, got my master's. Following that, I was with Coach Esri at North Central, which is, very familiar with KCK. We played them a couple times while I was there, and then prior to my year there, I was lucky enough to get on board at Emporia State, a Division II school in the MIAA out in Emporia, Kansas. And then Coach Burgette brought me in this year here in Kansas City and at KCK. So I'm excited to be here, and I've enjoyed my time so far.
All right. Hey, Coach, tell me a little bit about Tomas. And why is he at your school?
Tomas came for us through a connection that we had with a Chicago connection. Tomas is a more mature guard. He's a transfer kid that went to a junior college in Detroit, which was Jackson College. Tomas brings a lot of maturity, a lot of experience, and also heady at his position. As you know, just as well as I do, you got to have good point guards that can run your team, and I feel like he's one of those guys that we needed just to help out our program.
So, Tomas, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. When did you start playing? How long you have played? And talk about if you've been playing like most ballers since you was little, some of the bitty teams and coaches that help you mature into the player you are today.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you having me here. I'm originally from Eritrea, by Ethiopia. Moved to the U.S. when I was 10 years old. I started off playing soccer. And then when I got to Chicago, that's when I started getting into basketball. 8th grade year, I began to play. And then once I got to my freshman year, that's what really started as far as me working out and kind of getting into what basketball really is.
Excuse me for interrupting. Where'd you go to high school? You're giving your career, but tell them where you were at and so forth. And the coaches that coach you that help you develop.
Right. I was at Lakeview High School on the north side of Chicago. First coach I've met was my varsity coach, Coach Mike. I also met my coach, Coach Nathaniel Manoy. He's like my brother now, pretty much. That's who helped me down the road, my mentor. 5 a.m. workouts, you name it, we did it all. So after that, I transferred my senior year to Michigan Harrison, Michigan, Harrison Community College.
Did you
Me,
put any
community
numbers
high school.
up when you were in high school? Anything,
I did.
any accolades? Tell them.
I averaged 18, 7 and 7. Honorable mention for state. First team all conference. That was about it.
That was that's about it. That was quite an accomplishment.
Appreciate that.
Cascade Sports is home of the student athlete. How were your grades, and how in high school? How attentive were you to your academics?
In high school, I was doing really well. My freshman year, I did really well. My second year of college, I could have did a lot better. Now that I kind of got the hang of things, I'm getting even better now. So I'm at a 3.0 right now.
All right. So you left there, and where did you go to school?
For college?
Yeah, right.
Jackson College, Jackson, Michigan.
What you do there?
I redshirted my freshman year. My second year, I came off of an injury and I tried to play, which wasn't a good idea. So it was a rough season for me. After that, that's when COVID hit. And now I'm here in a better position for sure.
What kind of injury did you have?
I had a back injury.
All right. Talk to me about what do you anticipate you want to do this season if the season allows you to play?
Personally, I want to be a better leader. I want to kind of play like I did my high school year, as far as leading the team and putting them in position to win. As far as team, I want to be able to come in here and pretty much take them to where they left off. Coach Burgette has been doing a great job taking them places, and I want to just kind of pick up on that and continue.
Hey, Coach Gossett, I wanted to, when I was talking to you, add with what Tomas said about Coach Burgette. You know, he's coming off that big winning season. You're coming to a winning program. You're coming to an really, if you stick around, changing the culture over there under Coach. All of that's a plus for anybody that gets in that program right now. From my standpoint, because I've been interviewing for him and his teams for the last 2 years, I think. And I wish you well. But Tomas, you talked about leadership. Do you plan to be one of the leaders on this team?
I definitely do. Like you said, I got a little bit more experience than these guys. So kind of coming off that, I feel like I can lead these guys to the right direction with the coaching staff that we have as well.
What kind of shape are you in?
Pretty much the best shape I've been in the last 3 years.
All right.
Definitely the best shape.
Would you like to shout out to anybody in particular?
Definitely my guy, Coach Nate. My guy, Chuck, for sure. And my little brother as well.
What's his name? They don't know who he is.
My little brother, he's a newborn. He's about to turn 10 months next month. So definitely shout out to that little guy.
His name, so that we can say all right, shout out to the baby boy. Hey.
Not L.
All right. Hey, now, hey, Dane.
Yes, sir.
Run your story down. You know the drill already.
Yes, sir. So as Coach B said, I'm from Sedalia, Missouri. It's a small town, about 2 hours from the city. I basically been playing basketball my whole life. I started off, I was about 4 or 5 because I got a family full of ball players, so it's in my blood basically. I went to high school at at Smith Cotton High School. Senior year, averaged about 15 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, somewhere around that.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
So what position do you play?
2 or 3. I was all district senior year, honorable mention, all conference, and that's about it.
This is what grade are you in?
I'm a freshman, just first year at KCC.
Hey, coach, before I finish with him, go in on him and describe why you have him and what you're looking from him.
I think Dane is a high IQ kid. He can space the floor and make shots. He's a bigger guard than most guards with his length and his size, because he's pretty long and skinny. But he just brings a dynamic for us to be able to make shots. I like a team that can make shots and shoot on the perimeter. I think he's one of those guys that can do that.
Dane, what would you consider your best attribute as a player?
I can shoot the ball well, but I think I can pass pretty well too when I'm on point.
What's your spot on the floor?
Man, just anywhere around the perimeter, honestly. I don't have a spot I feel more comfortable at. I just like to shoot the ball, honestly.
With coach saying that you was long and lanky, do you go hard in the paint? Are you silky smooth? Are you rough and ready, or what? What's the deal with you?
I mean, if the time comes and I have to get down in the paint, I can do it. But my game's I'm more of an outside kind of guy.
What 1 to 10? What's your 3-point range?
When you said what?
1 to 10. That's how we rate things around here. What's your handles on a 1 to 10? What's that shot like? That 3-point?
My 3, probably give it an 8 or a 9 on a good day.
Nah, on a consistent day.
On a consistent day, I could light it up on a consistent day. I'll go at 9.
Hey, Coach Gossett, you seen him enough in practice to know, because that's why I like the coaches come on. The players, they tell you, I'm LeBron incarnate. And then you coaches will be like, settle down, son. You about a 5. Oh, so what you giving him, Coach?
Dane can really shoot it. I'd say he's up there on a consistent, probably about 7 or so. His consistency is something we're going to work on with him, so that way he's out there as a floor spacer for us, able to knock down shots and then be able to attack the rim and do different things because he can shoot the ball and how people are going to play him. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but he is definitely one of our better shooters.
What attracted you to KCK, Dane?
Really everything. Like Tomas talked about earlier, it's a winning program. Coach Burgette, I know he's a great coach. Just basically just the program, everything about it was just good, and I felt like it was good for me to come here.
Tell me this and tell the audience, what did it feel like when you first came up to campus? Being a young freshman, you're on your way, you're out of high school, you're playing for a top flight program. Tell the audience what that feel like.
Man, it felt great. Once I got all moved in and settled, I mean, I was nervous. I've never been away from home like this, but once I got in and got settled, man, it was great. I could tell I wanted to be here.
All right. Have you been in the weight room?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been in the weight room a little bit.
Are you adjusting and gelling with your teammates?
Yeah, most definitely, man. My brothers, I feel like all of us are real close. From the second we all met and moved in, we've all been tight.
All right. As I said, Cascade Sports is home of the student athlete. Let's talk about your academics a little bit. What are they looking like?
In college, since I moved in, I've stayed on top of my stuff so far. I feel like that's definitely one of my main priorities. Well, it is my main priority, keeping my grades in check, trying to keep a 3.0. In high school, freshman and sophomore year, I didn't take my grades as serious as I should have. But once I realized that I wanted to play in college and stuff, I started taking it more serious.
Who
So
helped you get on the right track? You say on your grades.
Well, I mean, my mom, obviously, my mom's always been there for me, my biggest supporter. But one of my AAU coaches, Coach KP, he's been like a father figure to me ever since I met him when I played AAU up here. So he's always keeping me in check. And he just makes sure.
What is Coach Burgette and Coach Gossett talking to you about academics?
They just basically let us know like we need to stay on top of it. If we want to play, and if we want to have a good season, that has to be our main priority from the jump. So, and we all kind of understand. So we try to make it as easy for them.
Coach talked about Tomas being one of the major attributes he had, that he was mature in his thinking. And a lot of times when you are a young player like yourself, you don't be as mature as you need to be. And can you follow somebody like him?
Oh yeah, Tomas, he's been a great leader. He's definitely one of our more mature players, as Coach B said. But he leads us every day at practice. He's got the most energy. He's never has a bad day. But he's definitely a great leader, and I'm glad that he's on the team. Because it's great when you have a bad day, someone like him picking you up is real good.
Are you shouting out?
Oh, yeah, of course. I just want to shout out my mom, Rhiannon, my coach, KP, Coach Kelvin, and my little brother.
What's his name?
Chaz, my little brother,
Chaz. This is the big shout out from your big brother.
Yes, sir.
Tomas, I wanted to ask you, and I didn't FBI CIA you like I really wanted to. Let's talk just before we close out. On a 1 to 10, what's your handles like?
My handle's definitely an 8 out of 9 for sure. Whenever I don't.
We get to the next one, Coach. Both coaches.
He's about an 8 or 9. He's one guy I can say that he puts in the time every day. Tomas is very persistent and does a good job of working out every single day to make sure that he's on top of everything. Since he came to campus, he's the only guy that wakes up at 6 in the morning, and sometimes he brings guys along with him to work out in the mornings, just to stay on top of everything and to make sure he's sharp. He gets up in the morning, he works out, he lifts, he does some ball handling, he shoots on the gun. So he's driven, and like we talked about with maturity, he's leading the pack. Every drill, conditioning, he's always finishing first. So
on your where you like to shoot that thing, Tomas, on the floor? Where you like to do that at? Do your damage?
Like Dane said, pretty much anywhere on the court, but I definitely, if you put me on that left wing, that's just a knockdown.
You got a crossover, son?
Definitely a drop cross.
Oh, I never even heard of that. Hey, Coach, what's that about? A drop cross? That's how you doing it? Iverson was breaking ankles. You dropping them to the floor. All right.
If you don't mind, I got one more shout out. Definitely shout out the whole fantastic team in the Ground Zero basketball program back in Chicago.
Ow, Shot-Town.
Definitely.
All right. Tell me this. Are you rough and ready, or are you silky smooth? Do you tiptoe through the tulips, or you do the Conad the Barbarian, get out the way or get crushed?
Definitely both of them. If I got a smaller defender on me, I'd definitely like to go in the paint.
You go at him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much whatever that's given.
All right. Hey, Coach Garrett, before we get off, you shouting out to anybody? You got any words of wisdom?
You said me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my family, my mother and father. They've been
Name
very,
them. They
very
don't.
supportive.
Hey, my audience need to know who they are. We
Yep.
the guy over here.
I got you. My mom, Carrie, and my dad, John, they were very supportive of me. They drove me to all the tournaments growing up. My dad used to drive even when I didn't even get any playing time in college to come watch me sit the bench, So they're always very supportive. My two sisters, Samantha and Brooke, they've been really supportive with me as well. And then obviously my girlfriend as well, Clarissa, she's been traveling with me and doing the coach's girlfriend thing. Wherever we got to go, she's always down to move and supporting me and the team. So I want to give a shout out to those people because without them, I would not be in this position.
But that's the whole part of building strong programs, strong relationships, and making it work. Hey, Coach, how you closing out, baby boy?
I appreciate you, Mr. Cascade Sports yourself. I know this outlet for us is pretty huge because these guys don't get a chance to experience interview, I guess you would say interview etiquette, and also just learning, how to speak. They can use this to have homework purposes to say, I could have did better at this, how to answer questions. So I think this is good for them because it's a media outlet for some of the guys, especially like, Tomas, where he can send back to his family. And we got a couple of guys that are obviously from out of the country this year. So I think it's pretty good for them to be able to send to their families so they can see, how well they're doing in school, and they get to see them on video, just everything, the whole nine. So I appreciate you for this because this is big for us and obviously for our fans to be able to get to see our guys too, because it's kind of like a meet and greet, so I think it's big for us to be able to put on our media outlets and showcase, who we are.
I think it's major really for your exchange students and students really that are not from the area and like Tomas, that it can go back. And you have the key to the kingdom when it comes to Cascade Media Group. And I know that you'll be bringing some more of your players on, getting them exposure. And what I would say from Cascade Sports, we look for you to have a terrific season this season. And as we always say here, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. But for all you suckers out there to think you can take Cascade Sports, we go hard in the paint. And I mean, we go hard.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.